Happy New Year. Welcome to Bishop Chronicles. As always, I'm your host, Adisa the Bishop, chilling live and direct somewhere random in the United Kingdom. And I just really want to say Happy New Year and congratulations, because honestly, you made it. You lived to get here. You lived long enough to get here. Think about all of your family members and friends who were tragically unable. I lost some good people this year. I'm pretty sure you did too. And grieving is hard, but we should be grateful that we're here. Check out this view. Look what I'm looking at. I mean, technically, I'm looking at y'all, but look at that. That's what we call peaceful nature vibes. All right. I hope you get some in 2025. Get some peaceful nature vibes going, man. Sometimes people feel uncomfortable in nature. Sometimes people don't know how to be at peace with themselves in silence and stillness. I'm gonna ask you to invest in it. All right. Invest in a little silence, invest in a little stillness. Find out a little bit more about who you are. On this thing about New Year's, one of my young homies posted a video leaving the gym, and he was like, look at all these clowns in the gym overdoing it and messing up the ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always those people that new year, new me, and they jump in, right? And then 2 weeks later, my back. 2 weeks later, I quit, right? And I'm always just trying to make sure that that's not you, that that's not me, right? That that's not the people that I care about, right? But we can only really be responsible for ourselves. So I'm gonna tell you right now, the quickest way to get fit for yourself is to follow this little protocol. Okay. Um, I don't even have a name for it. So right now we just call it the Bishop's Protocol for Health. Okay. Listen and do 15 minutes of stretching and or yoga, 15 minutes of strength conditioning, 15 minutes of cardio, 15 minutes of meditation. That's an hour. Don't tell me you don't have an hour. Bishop's Health Protocol. That's all you need. 15 minutes to each. And you don't even have to do it in one sitting. You could do 15 when you first get up, 15 at lunch, then do the other 30 when you get home. Come on, man. While you're watching Day of the Jackal, this is doable, right? With regards to any other goals that you have, if you don't have health, you don't have no goals, because they're not going to happen, because you're going to be in the hospital and or in bed all the time and or injured or whatever. All right. So your health needs to be the beginning, your physical and mental health. Okay. In Stoic philosophy, as many of you know, I am a rogue scholar, and I run a men's group called the Resilient Men's Group, where we use Stoic practices as a foundation among with other philosophies weaved in, right? To help ourselves actually be better humans for ourselves, for our families, right? And there's this concept that the Stoics had, this practice, Stoic practice of memento mori, right? Remembering death, right? As a tool for gratitude cultivation, and as a tool for discipline, making sure you finish what you start, do what you say you're going to do, and go after what you got to go after, right? So Marcus Aurelius said, you can leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. It's powerful, right? Because we never know when it's our last day. We just don't. We just don't. So many people got up yesterday or the day before, the month before, got ready to go to work or do whatever they thought they was going to do, and that was their last day on earth. And we don't really know when ours is coming, right? Seneca said, let us prepare our minds as if we've come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Never short of time. This is crucial. Time, man. I don't believe it's a real construct, but it's real for us because we are finite, right? Time exists not in the real world. Time exists in our limited world because we don't have all day, right? And you got to understand that, like, this idea of memento mori is not unique to the Stoics. It's just that they do have various practices for it. Like, I have a memento mori calendar where each week I fill in a dot, right? And has all the weeks of my life. And there's all these dots after it that you ain't gonna fill those out. You ain't, especially at 54, getting ready to be 55. I ain't filling them things out. You ain't either, right? But every week I got to fill it out. I have to own what I didn't do. Every week I fill it out. I have to own what I did do. I have to own my gratitude. I get to own my gratitude, right? But remembering death is not wholly unique to the Stoics. They were just some of the best cultivators of this kind of practice, right? In the Hagakure, if you've ever seen Ghost Dog, show of hands, Ghost Dog, Ghost Dog, yeah, Ghost Dog, Hagakure, right? Hidden Beneath the Leaves. It's a book by Yamamoto Tsunetomo. You can get that on Amazon. Nobody pays me to say that. He said, the way the samurai is found in death. Every day, when one's body and mind are at peace, one should meditate upon being ripped apart by arrows, rifles, spears, and swords. That was the life of a samurai of that time, right? Not very different from a Spartan, not very different from a Zulu, not right. So wherever you're from, I'm sure that there's some type of warrior culture or battle culture that you can step into. And you don't have to necessarily do it just like that. Maybe you do, but you should just be honest about the limits that your life has so you can take serious and invest in the best parts of who you're trying to be for yourself and your world. In the Bible, Psalms 90:12, teach us to remember our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to remember our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Psalms 90:12, right? This is beautiful, right? Where we take stock of our days. We take stock of our days so we can spend it with the right people, spend it in the right way, not waste it all online in our phones. I'm so guilty. I'm not talking crazy. I'm so guilty, right? And too much music and too much movies and too much gossip, right? And time's going, time is moving. You might be playing around, you might be dragging, but the clock is ticking. So in order to cultivate, because I don't want this to be a morbid thing, like you're just thinking about dying and people crying and you missing whoever you love and not being able to do certain things. I want you to think about this in terms of gratitude, right? So um, let's think about our lives more deeply, right? Think about this last year. I want you to think of 7 things, 7 blessings that came to you in 2024. Just 7, but really write them down, right? Like I have a journal. This is my Stoic journal. We'll talk about Stoic journaling on another episode in further detail, but this is my new Stoic journal. And I'm so happy to have it. It's so cool. This is Hiroshige for those of you that know anything about Japanese woodblock print. I'm a big fan of Hiroshige, right? And I also have this journal that I got here that I really like. They're different kinds of journal. This is strictly for Stoic journaling. But what I want you to do, don't worry about all that stuff. I want you to write down 7 things that happened to you last year that you're grateful for, right? Why 7? Because I want you to show that more than half of the year, 7 things happen, right? 7 things. And you can probably, if you really sit, you can go, I'm not saying don't go past 7, but I want you to seek and think about 7. And I know that you got 7. All right. So think about those, write that down, right? Now we are kind of going to get, I don't want to say dark, but I am going to say honest. Um, have you ever thought about how you want to be buried, where you want to be buried, what kind of rituals you want performed, right? I just learned about this thing the other day, literally yesterday, aquamation. Have you heard of aquamation? Show of hands. You, lady in the back. I had never heard of it. And basically it's this way of using hot water and pressure to dissolve the body so that there's only bones left. And they get those bones and they can get those broken down into a powder, right? And then they just flush the water away. That was heavy. And apparently I was like, what? Is this real? And it turns out Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who wrote the amazing book, I mean, he wrote many, many amazing books, but the Book of Forgiving, you should all have it. It's a book that I think every human should read. He was one of the first known people to do aquamation because he believed it was eco-friendly, right? There's also like tree burials. You seen that where they'll fold your body up in a bag of dirt with some tree, drop that in, right? And then there's, traditional Christian, Jewish, Islamic, and Buddhist burial rites. I myself plan to be buried Islamically. But everybody's got their way and everybody's going to have their day. So I want you to think about that, right? This is going to keep you honest, right? Um, and think about how planning your burial, it makes it easy for your family, right? So that they're not panicked and they're not stressed, right? And think about how whatever rituals you do or do not want, do they align with your values? Do they express how you are? Do they express how you want to be remembered? Do they express um, and complete how you want to be remembered and how you honestly lived on this earth? Um, so, this awareness of death should be seen and remembered as a tool for better living, right? Um, a sense of having urgency in your life without anxiety. That's a big deal, right? Getting things done. I've been working for several months on a book and a book proposal. It's pretty ready. It's pretty ready. And I've been, I've actually written several books and then not dropped them because I've always been afraid of the rejection letters, right? I've been afraid that my friends who have connections in the space won't help me. I've been afraid that publishers will reject it. And so I went and read a whole nother book before I even tried to sell the books that I've had. So I got this new book put together, working on the proposal, final edits, getting ready to run it. And I'm happy that I've kept my word to myself because I've quit on myself too much. How many times have you quit on yourself? Books sitting up there, businesses unmade, travels not taken. How many times can you afford to keep doing that? I don't know. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm 54. I'll be 55 in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So let's do what matters and brings us joy because it matters and it brings us joy. Let's do what matters and helps us cultivate peace because it helps us cultivate peace and be who we naturally are. Life is short, homie. Don't die trying to be somebody else because you can only be you, man. You can only be you. Um, so in closing, right? We don't know if we're going to make it through this year. Lots of people we know won't, right? So let's live this year as if it's our last. Let the people you love, let them know that you love them and let them know why, especially when it comes to your closer inner circle. Let them know why. We don't tell our kids why we love them. We just say that we love them. We don't tell our parents why we love them, just that we love them. Our friends, our neighbors, our teachers, right? The people who inspire us, that keep us going when the chips are down. Let's let those people know. Let's let those people know. And love yourself, right? Love yourself. Love your goals. Love your mind and your body, right? Everything, man. Some of us have gone through horrible things. My life ain't been no picnic, you know what I'm saying? But it could be worse. Everything can be a little worse. My health could be worse. My financial state could be worse, right? Relationships could be worse. Friendships could be worse. Man, let's just let the people know we love them and be the best that we can be for ourselves, our friends, right? Let's get our health up. Let's get our mind right. Let's get into therapy. I got a new therapist. Looking forward to that, right? When I get back. Um, and if you don't think you need therapy, that probably means you really do need it. So on that note, have a blessed 2025. I want this to be the best year of your life. I can't front, man. Despite everything I've been through, 2024 was one of my best. But I've had some bad ones. So if this was a bad year for you, or like 2024 was bad, shake it off, let it go. That's the thing that I came out of 2024 with, was that I need to be consistent and love most and best and hardest the people who love me and let go of everybody who doesn't. And for me, that even means people on the line. That especially means people on the line. If you got a frenemy, cut them out. I ain't got time for frenemies, man. Life's too short. I'm about to be 55. How many times have I said that? Because I'm eyeing it. I'm eyeing it. Many blessings. Happy New Year. I hope this is the best year of your life. I'm trying to make this one the best of mine. And let's have some gratitude. Let's keep our discipline and let's step into 2025 like with the best intentions, actions, and hopeful outcomes. All right. One love. Holla at a scholar. You know how we do.